news has broken that Great Adventure is about to get a ton of new shipments from B&M. Is Carowinds finally starting to remove Vortex? And over at Magic Mountain, are they starting prep work for their next roller coaster? And lastly, did Zamperla actually confirm that they are in fact working on Top Door Dragster? All of this and more with this Rumor Roundup. A lot of stuff is happening right now in the industry, and there are a ton of moving pieces to follow. And that's one of the best things about roller coasters and amusement parks. So I wanted to give you a rundown on my thoughts regarding each of these rumors. Welcome to Theme Park Predictions and More. My name is Brandon, and I'm really glad you're here because I have a lot of things to talk about. Starting off with Great Adventure. So late last night, I had a few of my friends text me this very interesting link to the shipping container website. And lo and behold, Great Adventure is actually getting multiple shipments, it appears, from B&M. Now, one of these shipments contains 10 pieces. Now, that's kind of intriguing, and we all know that Great Adventure has been rumored to be getting a Giga coaster for their 50th anniversary in 2024. Now, is this shipment related to that project or not? Who knows? But at least it's starting somewhere with the speculation, because this time 6 months ago, all we had is rumors, and now we actually have shipping containers coming to Great Adventure from B&M. According to Import Genius, it appears that a description parts of an amusement park ride is coming to Great Adventure, and as you can see, B&M shipped this container with the arrival date of January 5th, so that just passed. Now take a look at the gross weight. That is extremely heavy. You're talking over 27,000 pounds worth of equipment coming to Great Adventure. Now, is this for an existing coaster, or could this be for the new coaster that's coming in 2024? And for those of you who might think this is fake, you can find a link to this website in the description of this video so you can see with your own eyes that this really is a shipment coming from B&M to Great Adventure. Again, what we don't know is if this project is for an existing coaster or potentially a new roller coaster. I mean, after all, could we see the Giga? I've been back and forth on this for a while now. I always said in my past videos, I really find it highly unlikely that Six Flags is going to invest in that type of money for a roller coaster. Now, obviously, if they would decide to do so, then Great Adventure or Magic Mountain would definitely be the park that they would do it at. However, I just don't see them spending that type of money at this point due to the new CEO and the roller coaster of a ride the chain has been on, the last 15 years or so. So I don't think it's a Giga. However, there's good news, because I was talking with my buddy Austin from D-World Coasters, and be sure to go check out his channel because he offers some great coaster content as well. But he mentioned, what if Great Adventure is getting a dive coaster instead of a Giga for 2024? Now, this really makes perfect sense, because we know that Six Flags recently installed Diabolical's Cliffhanger down at Fiesta, which is a B&M dive coaster just over 150 feet tall. And we know that there's no B&M dive coasters near Great Adventure. So for marketing power, this type of roller coaster would do great for the New Jersey park. And honestly, with the situation that Six Flags is currently in regarding the financials, I really feel as if a dive is the best bang for the buck for the park, even over a Giga coaster. Now, obviously, I'd much rather have a Giga, but investing in a roller coaster that costs around $12 to $13 million and bringing a new coaster that's never been seen before at Great Adventure to the park is a great idea. Plus, the GP love dive coasters. So I really feel as if a dive coaster is a real possibility for 2024 for Great Adventure. Again, what do you think these shipping containers are for? Could it be for an existing ride or a new ride? Please let me know in the comments. Heading to Carowinds for some 2024 news, plus, is Vortex actually getting removed? And over the last week or so, we have seen some construction equipment show up underneath Vortex at Carowinds. What does this mean? Is Carowinds finally doing us all a favor and removing Vortex completely? Or are they converting it to a floorless? Well, I have some great news, and that is Neither. And that's obviously not great news, but according to my sources, Vortex is going to undergo the same type of modifications and upgrades that Nighthawk had last year, meaning that all new control systems, operator panel, and a bunch of stuff like that for Vortex. That way it's going to be at the park for a few more years at least, which I really don't get that move, to be honest with you. However, there is good news, and that is 2024, all of our eyes need to be on the Roarin Rapids site. This is a massive area for a new project for the park. Now, this Rapids ride has been closed for around 4 years now, so I don't see them ever reopening the ride as is, and I honestly do not think they're just going to retheme it like Knott's Berry Farm did with Grizzly Run, whatever their Rapids ride is called, a few years ago. I predict that this area is going to get bulldozed and we're going to see a brand new attraction be built here. Could it be a whole new themed area or just one major ride? Who knows? And according to my other sources, we also need to keep our eye on the outdoor concert venue located right next to Roarin Rapids. This has not been used very much at all over the years and takes up a massive plot of land that is located right next to the main entrance of the park. So prime real estate for Carowinds and Cedar Fair to develop this area into something really special for decades to come. I honestly do not see how their outdoor concert venue can be around in 10 years from now. So the end of its life is coming very soon, and that's great for all of us. Now, before I get to the last rumors, be sure to check out themeparkmerch.com for some really cool coaster merch that I designed myself, including my airtime tee that you can see here, a really premium quality. And be sure to check out themeparkmerch.com. I have t-shirts, hoodies, women's clothing, posters, all sorts of cool things, and I really do appreciate all the support. Now let's talk about Top Thrill Dragster. Zamperla recently released this video, and people have gone around all over social media grabbing a screenshot, what appears to be a piece of Top Thrill Dragster's launch track painted bright yellow. Now let's back up a little bit. We do know that Cedar Fair shipped off this track overseas, which could have been very well to Zamperla, but what are they going to do with it? Are they going to modify the track to add their launch technology to it? Or is this a different roller coaster altogether? Because as we know, Playland in Canada has already announced that they are about to add Canada's fastest launching roller coaster in 2024. Now this also happens to be another Intamin hydraulic launch coaster getting converted by Zamperla. And there's a lot of rumors going around right now that Zamperla is indeed in fact working with Cedar Fair on Top Thrill Dragster. But from my reports, the track in this video is not for Top Thrill Dragster. And personally, I do not see Zamperla working that much on the new Dragster project. In fact, I've said all along that I predict Intamin to be the majority partner with this project. Now, I do think Zamperla could be involved in some way or another, but Intamin will be the majority factor with the new Top Thrill Dragster that's opening in 2024. Heading out west to Roarin Rapids at Magic Mountain. This is the park's rapid ride, and just like Carowinds, this ride has not been in operation much over the last few years. And this plot of land is really big. In fact, it's around 3 acres, which you can fit a really good sized roller coaster on this location if that is the direction that Magic Mountain wanted to go with this piece of land. Now, obviously, as you're looking at aerial views of this location, you can see whatever the park decides to build on this plot of land, it's going to have to interact with Tatsu supports, which could easily be done. So if this is a roller coaster, then look out for some cool interaction with Tatsu and this new ride. But the only negative with this is that if Magic Mountain would in fact remove this water ride, that means the park is only left with one log flume, and that's it for their water rides. But that's okay, because what if Magic Mountain decides to add a new Mach power splash on the same plot of land as Roarin Rapids was? I really feel like this would be a very smart move for the park, because they're getting yet another new roller coaster, but also a new water ride. And I really feel as if Aquaman down over Texas, when it finally opens, is going to be a huge draw for the park and do great things. But my only question with this is that type of ride really needs a very flat piece of land to work with. So I'm not that familiar with Magic Mountain, but I know that this part of the park is kind of hilly, so I don't know if the land is flat enough to be able to support a ride like a Mach Power Splash. And finally, is Herschend Entertainment finally dumping in a lot of money for Wild Adventures? Ever since the park made the questionable move to remove Cheetah altogether instead of converting it to a hybrid, it appears that Herschend really doesn't want to invest much in this park. But we have good news because they are, in fact, adding a great new attraction next year, and that is a repaint of their Go Bananas Wild Mouse coaster. Yes, you heard it here. Wild Adventures is giving their Wild Mouse a brand new paint scheme that looks great. Now, if only that means that the next major project could be a new roller coaster, probably not, but who knows. I've always liked Wild Adventures, and I feel like there's a ton of potential there, but again, what do I know? I'm just a Bengals fan from Ohio. So there you have it, a bunch of coaster rumors rounded up into one little video. What do you think is going on? I want to know your thoughts because there's a lot of things to kind of think about here and kind of speculate on. And that's the best thing about what I do is to hear you guys talk and hear your thoughts and just get the discussion going. And if you like roller coasters and theme parks, be sure to click that subscribe button so you become the newest Theme Park Predictions and More subscriber. And with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.